I wanted to record this because it just happened. Because these are the parts of recovery that I rarely ever see discussed, and things that nobody tells you that you're going to go through. I'm recovering from a drug addiction, but I'm also recovering from an addiction to media. When I made the connection between me not dealing with my trauma and overindulging in distractions, my healing journey began to change. Because now I understand that I need to make space for my memories that I have suppressed to come back so that I can work through that trauma. For example, I was just stretching, I was just doing some yoga, and I started thinking about back when I lived in South Carolina, and I was about, 19 or 20. We had moved from Baltimore to South Carolina, and this was after I had just got married to my husband, Ghost, and we went down there and we were on drugs, and I found out that I was pregnant. And I stayed down there long enough to have 2 babies. I was on drugs the whole time. And there were things that happened that, I don't necessarily want to remember. I remember not being a present mom. And those are the same 2 kids to this very day that I have troubled relationships with, because they're more like their dad than me. And now that their dad's gone, our relationship's really complicated. And I feel like they are probably 2 of the most damaged 2 out of the 6, because I was so young when I had them, and I was so badly caught up in addiction, and we were moving from place to place, and there were times when we were homeless, and they saw things they shouldn't have seen, and they were environments they shouldn't have been in. And those type of situations, unchecked and unhealed, cause lifelong mental health and spiritual problems, and even physical ailments and diseases. So usually what I would do is find some way to distract myself from these thoughts. But now what I do is I reconcile with them in that moment. I let it play out. Like I literally feel like I'm back there, walking through the rooms of my repressed memories, and reliving those situations. And I just go ahead and visualize it, and I just let it play. And then I apologize, and I ask for forgiveness, and I let it go. And I feel like I have to do that through all of these situations. I have to do that with all of my repressed and suppressed memories, because when I don't acknowledge them, they turn into intrusive thoughts, which turn into sleepless nights, which turn into manic episodes. So I have to jump ahead of these things, and this is why I isolate myself, so that I can be devoid of distractions, and I can finally, for once, face my past. And it's very painful and shameful, but I don't want to carry that around. I feel like I carry that weight in my gut, literally. And it's an awful feeling. So I just have to face myself. I have to face my past. I can't keep pushing these memories down and pretending that they're not there. It's not scary to face them. It's just very hurtful. But I'm going to have to feel that hurt. It's like, feel the hurt now all at one time. Not even all at one time, but like actually face it and deal with it, or just carry it throughout life. Always trying to find external things to silence the noise. The memories are only screaming because I'm not acknowledging them. Once they're acknowledged, I feel like they go away. And it's going to take time and work. But I do this work daily because I want to retire from this shadow work at some point. Like, I just want to spend the next few years really digging deep into everything that has been repressed inside of me and letting it go, so I can just purify my soul and move forward. And that's when I can begin to really elevate, because I don't want to be reincarnated here and I certainly don't want to be reincarnated as a human. I want to be something more evolved. I feel ready to move on. But I wish more people would share their stories about what life was like after recovery from drugs. I really do, especially brown people and females, because there's not a lot of success stories, or at least people aren't sharing them. I don't see them a lot. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but you got to be the change you want to see in the world. So I'm sharing my story, not because I think that the road to sobriety is the one that I took, just because I would be a fool not to share my story, because there's no way that it's not going to help someone, even if it's only one person. I feel like I'm doing my part. I feel like this is part of me trying to make right all that I have done wrong and all the time that I've wasted with my life. I want to help others because I want to make my pain valuable. I don't want it to just be pain. I don't want to just acknowledge it. I don't want to just heal from it. I want to turn it into currency. Peace.